guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lew. Coming to you live from Studio 700 at Revitalize Life Fitness and Life Coaching. Coach Lew will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the body, the energy, and success you deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lew.
So let me ask you the biggest question of this day. What is your excuse? And you're going, what do you mean? Maybe I don't have an excuse. Maybe I'm not making excuses. Oh, yes, you are. We all do. We all have an excuse or a reason we can't or we won't. Well, we have reasons we do and will. Those are not excuses, though. We don't have to apologize for it. If you got to apologize for something, it's an excuse. Well, I would, but, or I could, but, even if you're not apologizing to somebody else, if in your heart you're apologizing, or to your God, your Creator, you're apologizing because you know you could or you should, and you really aren't, but you have a reason. I have a reason, me, I'm special, and yes, you are. Every individual is special. Every individual is unique, and everybody's got those special reasons why they can't do something, and those motherfuckers are called excuses. Excuse my language on this, guys, but sometimes I gotta be frank about it. Excuses are going to be the downfall of anything you really want. It's going to be the downfall of your greatness. It'll be what you take to your grave, and the reason you take something with you that would have been of value to somebody else. Something you could have done great, should have done, shoulda, woulda, coulda. You shoulda all over yourself. You know what I'm saying? Shoulda, I said. You shoulda all over yourself. No, seriously though, all playing aside there, woulda, coulda, shoulda is a bunch of excuses. Now, does that mean you just say, okay, I'm not making excuses anymore and everything just straightens out instantly? No, but it's the beginning point. It's that pivotal point where you start and where you stop making excuses and you start taking action. I've always been asked, and I've asked this question too, why are some people so successful and so unbelievably on top of managing their time and all of what they've got going on, and they still have time for themselves and they take care of their bodies, and then other people are stressed out all the time, and there's always a problem and a challenge and they can never get it done and they always have a reason why? Well, let me say this much. Reasons are generally geared more towards success. Your reason why you are is your success reason. Your gear for success, high gear. Your excuse is why you can't, won't, or just don't. Really, the truth is you won't. And some people say, well, I don't have equal opportunity. Hey, Lou, you talked a couple weeks ago, we talked about the only thing that's equal is time. I was born in a bad neighborhood. I was injured young. I went to prison young. I did this, that, boom. Stuff I didn't have an upbringing that was easy. I had an alcoholic parent. That guy over there, he was born, with a dad with a helicopter. You're right. Not everything's equal. Bad shit happens. And this is the reason we're coming to talk about this, because it's not that stuff isn't going to happen. We're not going to go into fa la 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 land here and go la-di-da. We just ignore everything bad and make no more excuses, and everything's just going to be okay, and it's just going to happen, and the road of gold is going to be paved in front of us just because we stop saying excuses. So let me reiterate real quick. If you have somebody that says, I can't because XYZ, fill in the blank with the BS, and or you hear them say, you're lucky because, fill in the blank with A, B, C, D, you got this opportunity, you got that, you're good looking, you're thinner, you're this, you're that, you're smarter. Those are BS excuses. I know what you're thinking. That BS is belief system. That's all based on what you have created for yourself in a belief system. You're saying, oh, no. My belief system was from my parents. I was taught from generation to generation. This is just the way it is. This is the way it is. When you hear it's the way it is, that is the biggest bullshit belief system. That is bullshit. That BS is bullshit. That is a belief system that is not going to serve you. Does it mean you ignore it and say, oh yeah, I just, okay, forget it. I was horribly abused, or I had this bad accident or that. I'm just going to act like it didn't happen. I'm missing my right arm because of an accident. I'm going to pretend I have one, and, I'm going to be able to write with my right arm that I don't have. That would be silly. But what you could learn to do is write with your left. Interesting concept. It might be hard as hell at first, but I guarantee you something. If you really work on it, it'll happen. Am I saying that some people don't have larger challenges than others? No. The funny thing is sometimes the people that have been through and gotten the other side of a larger challenge are truly the more successful, because they've adapted that emotional endurance, that emotional muscle, that strength to go, if I can deal with that and I made it through, bam, I can crush through anything. Wow. Firewalk is an example. Not that that's a bad experience, but it's a scary as hell experience until you do one. And even then when you do one, if you do another one, you're scared shitless, because you're always like, is it going to be hot, or am I going to come out of state? Am I going to scorch myself? Or there might have been that one that I did that I burned my foot because I popped out of state because I didn't trust and have the faith. Whatever. But the whole point to that being, using the firewalk as an example, people are scared and I'm going to walk on fire, and then boom, they come out the other side of that and they're like, and I used to be scared to ask my boss for a raise. I just walked on fire, man. Or I'm afraid to start my own business. I just walked on fire. Or I'm afraid to talk to that, good-looking person I've been trying to go meet, because I'm afraid of rejection. I just walked on fire. I'm going to talk to anybody. And if they don't want to talk back with me or get with me, the hell with them. I'll find somebody else. That's the kind of difference of excuses versus reasons why. Powerful, empowering reasons why. Are they the same action? Yeah, because you're making a decision to either come up with a reason why not, or a reason to drive you why. A reason why not's going to let you escape. It's going to give you that pleasure of, everybody would understand why I can't get off my butt and do this. The other side's going to be like, I don't care what anybody thinks, I'm doing this and I'm going to get it done and I'm going to make it happen. Do you see the difference in physiology? Oh yeah, okay, and people will pat me on the back and go, I understand, yeah man, if Now, am I saying not have compassion? No, if somebody's going through ever-living hell at a part of their life, reach a hand out and help them out. But you know what? The best way you can reach out and help somebody is teach them how to help themselves. If somebody's totally dehydrated, you may have to give them that first drink of water. But if you teach them how to go get more water, they won't get dehydrated again, and they won't be in the same spot in the rescue me mode again next week, next day. Teach them how to grow past it. Help somebody. The biggest way you can help somebody is to teach them how to help themselves, no matter what the situation is. A lot of people love to be that caregiver and take care of people. Yes, I love it. What do you think I'm doing this for? I want to help you guys. I want to take care of you guys. I want to help our world get better. I want to help people stop, having so much anger and hatred towards people you don't even know. People who have never set foot in your home, in your business, you've never even walked up to, and you can hate this person. Wow, that's a crazy world we live in. But it's true. It goes on all day, every day, and there's no, I know there's a bunch of you out there going, yeah, see, you're admitting it. Yep, right, coach, you're admitting it. My group is, oppressed. Bullshit. Hold on. That's an excuse. I'm just saying, because there are people in groups of people that are oppressed, and, you get outside of our country, you see what oppressed really is. Just because you get in trouble for doing something wrong here and, you got to face some consequences, you're not oppressed. That is consequences. But there are some places where people are really oppressed, where, somebody will drag their child out in the middle of the street and, execute their child right in front of their eyes because they didn't do something that a general in their military wanted them to do or something. That's oppression, my friends. Does that happen? Yes. Would that person have an excuse that maybe lost their child like that to shrivel up and rot away and have an excuse? Yeah. What about that person changing and going on a crusade to change that type of environment and making actual change? Adam Walsh. There you go. Need I say any more? my heart would go out to anybody losing a child. Dear Lord, I don't know what that feels like. Thank God it's never happened to me. I love my kids. They're all safe and sound. Little turkeys at times, but they're all safe and sound. Now, they're all good. They have their moments. Kids are going to be kids. But, you can look at a man like that and go, he could just have said, I lost my son in the most heinous, horrific way. I'm just going to drink myself to death. Instead, he started a show that saved countless other children. Did it bring his son back? No. Did it bring his soul back? Yes. Yes. Do you see where I'm going with this? Now, all of a sudden, when we talk about that, you go, oh, yeah, wow, that's abominable. That's unbelievable how somebody can come back from that and create something that has so much good, which he probably would have never created that show if that hadn't happened, and how many parents are thankful he did. But, are you starting to realize that, oh my God, the crap I'm talking about in my head right now, Coach Lew, I can't because of this, or I can't because of that, and you start going, whoa, okay, my shit's minor. And that's usually the case. And there is some major stuff, okay? There's countless examples of people who have been absolutely unjustly had horrible stuff, happen to them. And does it mean you're going it alone? If you're going through that time of something that could become an excuse or an empowering future, do you go it alone? No, maybe you reach the heck out and, ask for some help. Once you get the help, once you get past it, step the F up and build your growth. Do I say that, in the instance, and I hate to use this, but in the loss of a child in a tragic way, there was an individual who told a story once, and I wanted to wring his neck. I was at an event, and I'm not going to say names because he's, just not going to say names. He was a speaker, and he had run a child over and called it an empowering moment. And my empowering moment was learning how not to get up and grab him off the stage and bounce him off his head and go, yeah, how is that empowering? And I'm like, learn. And what I did learn, and I didn't agree with the whole thing, and I still don't to this day, but this individual has gotten it came around a little bit because he was too greatly empowered by what happened rather than finding an empowering way to help things like that not happen. But I'm not going to go in there. But my whole point to it was, no matter what happens, getting through it, getting the help, stepping up, does it mean you, and here's my point to this, I went a little sideways, does it mean you disregard or act like, what happened didn't happen? No, you can acknowledge it. And in a case like that, if you hurt somebody else and it's something you got to get past, you really do have to acknowledge that, and you really do have to do something to make peace with a family or something. But my point to that is, do you just totally ignore it if you've had a tragedy in your life? Like if you lost a child, let's look on the other side of that. If you were the parents of that child who was lost, do you just say, oh, all right, this is going to be empowering, boom, boom, boom? No. Do you still have that loss? Do you say, oh, this was a great thing? No, it's never great to lose a child. But could you make it into something that helps others? Maybe it was a crosswalk that should have had a red light, something that simple, or a stop sign, or a blind curb in a school bus stop, or something that you could get a light put up to prevent it happening from somebody else. That's the difference between the person that goes and drinks himself into oblivion or, does something like that in a tragedy, as opposed to somebody who steps up and makes something better so it doesn't happen to somebody else. That's empowering. Does it take away that there was a loss? No, and we would never. I mean, and something, if you're going to tell me you had to bankrupt a business and stuff like that, yeah, okay, I'm going to feel for you. That's a tough grind and a tough ride, but you can easily build that back up if you know what I'm saying. If you say you're a business owner right now, and your business is done, the industry's been done away with because of technology, or the industry's been done away with because of government regulation or something like that, where you absolutely cannot. You've tried everything. You're not going to pull this business out. You got to go bankrupt. And you're like, my life is ruined, and you still have 3 healthy, happy children and a spouse at home. get off your ass. Your life is not ruined. Okay? So when we use that example, that's why I use a tragic example like that, so that you can look and go, all right, well, okay, yeah, and we all say our businesses are our babies, and yes, they are. We invest a lot into them. But could you more easily come back from losing a business than losing a child? I think so. I think you can always look and go, somebody else has been through something tougher and come back stronger. Doesn't mean, again, I'm not saying you don't acknowledge it, just because I'm using such a tragic example of like the loss of a child or the loss of a very close loved one, especially if it was a senseless loss where, it's not somebody was sick and you knew it was coming for years, but something that was, tragedy or any kind of major tragedy. But if you're going through something less than a major tragedy that's that horrible, and knowing that people have come back from that and created something to help others and gone out and created great things, could you much more quickly recover from losing a business or, a breakup? Okay, you get divorced or you break up with somebody you really care about. Maybe you didn't see it coming. Maybe you really didn't play a major role in the destruction of the relationship, whatever the case was. Could you look and go, well, somebody else that was totally in love, and both of them were in love, one of them passed away this morning. Oh, dear Lord. Okay, well, my breakup's not so bad. So instead of using the excuse, well, I'm, can't do this because I'm, mourning a breakup, think of the person who's mourning a death of their loved one, that they didn't have any choice. There is no choice. So use this power to empower you and always go, hey, you know what? Somebody's come back from something worse. What can I learn from them? Can I help somebody else when I get to the other side of this? I got blindsided in this business by a new regulation because I wasn't paying attention. Could I, start a consulting business and consult people in my business of how to avoid the pitfalls that could take you out of the game? Next thing you know, you got your new business right now. Now you're a consultant to how to keep business going because you learned firsthand how it can be tanked. Oh, little different feeling than my world's over because I had to go out of business. So anytime you catch yourself saying something like, if this hadn't happened, I could do this, that's an excuse. Transforming is much better and easier than you think. It's like asking a better question, like, now that I've learned to conquer this tragedy or this problem or this challenge or whatever it was, what am I truly capable of and what can I really make happen? Man, if I made it through that, what can I do now? Using the fire walk, for example. First time, if you've ever fire walked or been to an event where they do, it's not about teaching you how to walk on fire. It's about breaking through to what's possible. Or jumping out of an airplane. We can use that as the same, with a parachute, mind you. I would highly recommend that. Using that as the same type of analogy, something that's scary as shit, but when you get to the other side of it, you go, I just came out of the clouds and I'm alive. What else can I do in life? This is cool. Or a lot of people go, let's go do it again. Or something simpler. Maybe I'm going a little off the charts there for you. Maybe you're ready for a roller coaster ride. How many times, and go with me on this, have you been to an amusement park and said, no way in hell am I going on that? Somebody talks you on, drags you on, promises you ice cream, whatever the case is. Now we're going back to childhood if you're older. You go on the thing, and the first thing you want to do is go back and get in line and go again. Okay? If you stumble, fall, and something happens in life, be the person who wants to get in line and give it a go again. Yes, I said it. Give it a go. Give it a green, give it a go. Some people out there watching are going to get a good laugh out of that one. But now I know where that comes from. Give it a green, give it a go is something I throw in my auction chant a lot on cars. Give it a green light, give it a go. So give it a green, give it a go. How about applying that in your life? Give it a green, give it a go. Don't put on the red light. Don't put on the caution light and make those excuses. Why not? Give it a green, give it a go, folks. That's the word of the day. Give it a green, give it a go. Love it. Now I know what that really means. See, there's more meaning to everything. And kind of funny because I catch some crap about that from some of my cohorts that, they'll be like, give it a green, give it a go. You're funny. But you know what? Now it's got new meaning. And let's give that a new meaning. Think about it. Or give yourself a statement that you say like that gets you past the excuses. Set an anchor. Remember setting anchors. If not, get your ass back to that one and check out that segment on setting anchors. And give yourself a green and give yourself a go. Let's do it again. If you stumble, fall, screw the excuses. Yep, it's going to be a process. Yep, you're going to climb out. Yes, it's going to be tough. Yes, you're going to have to pay the piper. And usually, a lot of times, you put yourself in that position to take that crash. Now, it doesn't mean, and we're talking business and maybe relationships and your physical health. A lot of times, you set the stage for where you're at, so reset the stage the next time around without the excuses, with the action where you didn't take action. Now, if it's a tragedy that came and knocked you sideways, that you can say, there's no way I asked for this, and there are those things. I got to tell you, I don't think anybody asks for a sudden loss of a loved one. And we've all been there, and I could give example upon example, and there's one that's very dear to my heart, and I don't even want to bring it up, but some of you know who I'm talking about. Nobody's actions led to that. Nobody not doing something or not working hard enough led to a premature death of a friend. And you go, wow. And yeah, you can keep that in your heart and keep the good in your heart when you lose somebody or something or a business. This is all over the spectrum. It could be a minor loss. It could be major losses that are creating, the excuses. But the deal is you've got to find something that'll empower you when you get to the other side. There's not always exactly an empowering meaning for what happened. As in the example I was giving earlier, somebody that tried to convince a group that they were happy they ran a child over because it gave them this new enlightenment. I don't think I like that, but that doesn't resonate with me. It might resonate with them, and it might have been their way of handling it. However, to say that I made a mistake, somebody was injured or killed because of it, and what has come of it, and yes, I still, there's grief there, and yes, I would love to would go back and change that. I mean, anybody that accidentally takes somebody else's life, I don't think that they would say I'm glad it happened, unless it's in self-defense, and that's still. I'll tell you a story someday about that'll make your hair stand up. No, it didn't involve me, but it was somebody who told me their story. But to go, okay, this happened and it was tragic, and acknowledged it, and here's what it drove me to do to make things better and help others, that is the pattern of growth. Not to celebrate your screw up, but to take, if you did screw up, and go, okay, how can I use this to make something better? How can I make myself better? How can I make things better for others? I hope you guys are getting that fine line with me, because there's a lot of ambiguity around a subject like this. But let's keep it a little lighter to finish it out today, and let's put the excuses down and step up and take action. Let's start on some excuses. Oh, I can't work out because I got kids and I'm a single parent. I have lots of people who have trained with me that have kids and are single parents. And you go, yeah, but I work too. Okay, and I work 2 jobs. Okay, I know people who have more children than you, more jobs than you, and maybe less transportation and less support around them. And they take care of their body. So we're not out to compare, but when it comes down to it, look around you and say, okay, do I have more opportunity than maybe somebody else who is accomplishing what I want? Oh, magic formula. Instead of going, well, if I were you, or if, because that's back to the excuse BS belief system. Instead of going, yeah, I got a lot on my plate, and wow, you know what? I can learn from that other person. How can they mentor me? Because they got one more kid, one less car, and one more job, and they still manage to get into the gym to take care of their body. How do they do it? Not, oh, well, I know this person who's single, got no kids, and they have one high-paying job, and they work 4 hours a day, and see, they can make it to the gym. That's bull crap. You know, you don't want to look at that. You want to look at the person who's got even maybe a higher challenge than you, but they're succeeding in an area you're not succeeding, and you're using an excuse, and they're using something in there to propel them to the next level. Go find it. Go dig for it. It's gold. That's gold. Make it a game. Make it fun. You know, how does this person pull this off? Not, must be nice, you must have X, Y, Z. Go, how do you do that? Let me learn. This is the key here. Learn, grow, and give back. That's the deal. Learn, grow, give back. Learn all you can, because there are all kinds of mentors to learn out there from. And it might be your next door neighbor, just in the way they manage their time, or something else, or something they do that you go, why does their lawn always look so pretty and mine looks like crap? You know, learn and grow. Don't be jealous. Don't go, must be nice. You know, I work and you don't, or something. Who knows what they got going on? But the deal is, learn from those who have been through what you're going through right now. The thing you're making the excuse from, it's happened to somebody else. I guarantee you. Probably worse in a lot of cases. Maybe not. There are some cases where things are, you know, I get it, but you still got to come out the other side of it. You're going to come out either an excuse monger, and you're going to fail out, and you're just going to spiral down, or you're going to come out stronger, and you're going to apply that to making stuff better, grow for you and the ones around you. So, wow, that was pretty impactful today, yeah? I hope you got something from this. If something didn't sit right, you know, some of my examples at times, you know, are they're like, you know, scratches on the skin, and they sting a little. They're designed for that. And sometimes my examples, I like make it, you go, I'm going to go walk on clouds now, man, because I'm on fire. Go for it. But use the pain and the pleasure to serve you. Because that's who I'm out to serve right now, is you guys. Listen up. If this is a lot to swallow and you go, hey, you know what, I got some big things to handle, that's where the reach out time happens. Reach out. Click that button below on this post. Book a coaching session with me. We'll do this one-on-one. You're in your safe zone. You're going to work with somebody who's not going to go broadcast all over the world your personal situation. I broadcast, but this stuff. But you want to be in that safe zone where you can truly work through things. Get a coach. If it's not me and you meld with somebody else really well, there's a lot of great coaches. There's some mediocre coaches, and there's some crackerbox coaches. But it's like anything else. It's like anything else in the world. You find the person that's going to help you succeed to the maximum that you can. That is what you're after. But I'd love to be your coach, you know, personally. Keep on watching these. These are not going to stop. We're going to continue growing with these. I know there's areas you can always use more in. You know, and I get people say, hey, you know, coach, why are you doing these? You know, we know that it's not the 30 minutes or the 25 minutes or the 1 hour that we sit here and talk. There's prep time, study time, education. There's cost for equipment. There's cost for our facility. There is, you know, cost. There's time to produce this stuff. You know, the 30 minutes is 5, 6, 7 hours worth of effort into each one of these. And the thing I ask, when you're ready to coach, come to me. That's how I can keep it going. If you know somebody who needs what I can offer, come to me. But by all means, go to somebody when you need to get to the next level. A coach is the most amazing thing you can have. I have a coach. I'm not going to tell you that everything's perfect. Most of my coaching abilities, true abilities to work with people, have come from life experience and in-trenches training as a coach. Not only textbook. Textbook is great to teach theory, but to connect yourself with a coach who's actually been out, living it, doing it, in the trenches, creating change, and somebody who's got lots of life experience can be your best coach. Anyhow, enough of a commercial on me. Click below if you want to coach with me. I'd love it. Keep on watching these videos. Keep on tuning in live every Monday morning on our Facebook page to get the live show. Check all the posts. All the stuff is archived. You just go back, next back on our blog. It's all there for you. Use it. Live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams, guys. This is Coach Lew signing off. Lots of love.